All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network, Wednesday night, February 19th. We got a show for you tonight talking about the San Francisco Giants and bold predictions that we're all going to come up with. But first, let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Give them a call, 415-613-9483. You got that personal injury situation where you need help, you need some advice, free advice, give Chapman Law Group a call. They won't steer you wrong. They're definitely not going to leave the bases loaded like another Chapman, right? But not this Chapman, all right? So give them a call, 415-613-9483. And Lou back from NBA Boarfest All-Star Weekend. Ratings in the tank.
Of course, like WNBA. Nobody cares about the NBA till the playoffs. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, tonight they got a makeup game, and it's not even on TV anywhere. The Lakers.
Oh, geez. We'll have to leave that one for another day. But tonight, we're going to be discussing the two of us plus Bora. Bora will be jumping in here any moment. And as Bora comes in, we will do our bold predictions. And this ought to be some interesting predictions. Welcome. Here's Bora. All right, guys. Good evening, Philip. He says, good evening, Dan, Lou, and now he's going to have to add Bora. So welcome, guys. Got to thinking about this team. You know, I listened to earlier tonight that on Marty Lurie's show, he had Sean Jelly and Andrew Baggerly. I mean, Jelly was very pumped up, sounding like, hey, they are going to be a team. When teams face the Giants, they are going to walk away saying that was a very tough series. And, man, we played a tough team. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I mean, attitude is important, but so's a good start. That can take that good attitude and wash it and flush it right down the drain, because every spring camp you go to, if you show up in Chicago White Sox camp or the Colorado Rockies camp, you're going to hear like, yeah, we're going to be really good this year. We're going to surprise people, So we'll see what happens. But let's get to the bold takes, guys. I see one right up the big 25 bold prediction, 4 more wins than last season. That would make them 84-78. All right. Like that. All right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to come up with the first bold prediction? Hold on. Let me get the circus music ready. All right. Who's first?
Lou, you go first. Let's go like one by one, and then
that's perfect. What you want to start like again? I'm not sure exactly how we're doing this, so I'm going to start on the infield. Start a bold prediction since everyone's so negative on our first baseman, and we probably won't see Aldridge until maybe the second half of the season or maybe next year. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Flores comes back to reality, healthy, has a huge first half, 18 homers, and winds up with 30 homers between him. I think actually he'll probably play the whole time. So my bold prediction, Flores, 30 homers at first base. And we finally get a first baseman, the most unlikely guy of the Giants.
You've been watching Glenn or talking to Glenn too much over there at Giants Sports Talk Live. He said 32 last night for Flores.
Did he? He's nuts.
I think he's kidding, though. You're serious?
Hey, this is a bold prediction,
It's a bold prediction, yeah.
It's a bold prediction. Okay. Try not to laugh too hard.
I mean, I'm going to have a few negative bold predictions. But this is something that if he's healthy, he can go back 2 years ago.
All right.
Plus, everyone thinks we're so down on the first, which why not come up right out of the gate something like completely nuts?
I like it.
All right. I'm a big Hayden Birdsong fan. I'm gonna say he wins 12 games this season. I think. I don't know if he'll win the job right off the bat because it's him and Kyle Harrison for that 5th rotation spot. Just because Jordan Hicks for some reason is embedded into that 4th spot, but I think he can beat out Kyle Harrison. I honestly think he's better than Kyle Harrison right now. I think Justin Verlander is going to have a pretty good, big effect on him because they're very similar in their body types, the way they throw the ball, the pitches they throw. And Hayden Birdsong's stuff, just his, it's like I'm getting a little analytical here, but his stuff last year was graded pretty highly. I don't have the exact numbers, but his fastball was I don't know, the ride on it or something like that. There were a bunch of these metrics that showed that Hayden Birdsong's numbers were, I'm not going to say worse than they should have been, but it was a solid rookie season, I think. And I think he can really become an ace. I see ace potential in him. He has the stuff. He has the velo. The velo's there, unlike Kyle Harrison. But that's my bold prediction for Hayden Birdsong, 12 wins.
I like it. All right. Here's my bold prediction. Nobody has their fingers on the laugh machine, I hope. Kyle Harrison has a brilliant first half and makes the all-star team and then fades in the second half. Comes down to reality. But he comes out and he's the surprise pitcher in the National League. And he makes the all-star team, winning 8 games in the first half and has an ERA under 3 and is in the top 5 in the National League in strikeouts at the All-Star break.
Really?
Yeah, that's my bold prediction.
Where's the laugh machine? Come on.
I think the kid's competitive, and I think he sees that this is a make or break year. He's not even being given a starting spot in the rotation, and he's I think he comes out and he's just really fired up to show that he is the pedigree that he was talked about, and that he's been a winner his whole career. And I think this competition brings out the best in him.
And I know how I feel about you know how I feel about Harrison. I don't like him. I just don't see it. So that, to me, I mean, there's a possibility of that happening, but I don't see the strikeout stuff. I don't like if Harrison's going to be successful. I see
that mute mic. Lou, hit that mute.
It is mute. It's mute.
Oh, you know what? Go into your settings. You're not on your mic. You're using your change your mic to your Yeti. You're under your camera mic or speak something. Go under settings and go to audio. You'll probably sound a lot better too.
Okay, and then
drop down menu, hit the Yeti speakers. You see it? It says
Yeti
microphone, Yeti stereo microphone. Click on that.
Like this? Is that better?
Now hit your mute button.
Can you hear me now?
Hit your mute. Hit your mute on your mic and talk.
Yeah, I have mute. Mute.
Are you talking? Talk?
Yeah, I am. I pushed the button and now it's mute.
I can still hear him.
Still hear you. So I don't think your mic's set up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just don't see it with Harrison. Like Anthony says, he has 3 pitches. He needs to develop a sinker. He needs to be more accurate. He needs to locate his pitches better. I don't see this stuff in Harrison. I don't see the velocity that we were. I mean, I don't know that we were promised about the velocity, but I just don't see it. I mean, there have been reports that have said, and he's said that he's gotten a little more comfortable and his velocity's back. I mean, is that velocity going to be 94 to 96, or is it going to be 92 to 93? That's my question. Because
I was hearing 90. I was hearing 95 the other day.
if it's 95, then I'm excited. But if it's last year where he was hitting 89, that's just I can't see it when Harrison's hitting 89 consistently.
Yeah, I don't see it either, 89, but I'm basing it on he's coming back, a little more velocity, back to, and he goes back to more like he was pitching throughout the minors, and they let him, they don't try and mess with his some of his pitches.
Do you think they're going to go back to his because he had that change with his sweeper or curve, whatever it is? Do you think they're going to go back to how it was originally?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can I say something? And I haven't really
Sure.
brought this up until the season starts, but I'm kind of pissed off at Melvin, the pitching coach, and all this BS. Because last year, it wasn't Webb. Birdsong was our best pitcher. Why in the hell does he have to goddamn compete for the 5th? He was our best pitcher last year. He was consistent. He's a stud. He should not even be competing for the 5th. You know, someone like Ray, I don't care, coming off an injury, he should be competing. Birdsong was such a stud last year. He was consistent. He, you know, I love your prediction 12. I actually have him at like maybe 15, 16. I mean, when you look down and you go over last year, and I know it's only 1 year, who was the most consistent pitcher?
Webb. It was Webb.
Ah.
You
Everyone
cannot
loves
say
Webb.
it's Birdsong. No,
Birdsong was
not
good.
Birdsong.
He was good.
He was all right. He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was good.
Do you think maybe I'm thinking he's so good because all the other pitchers sucked and ran out of gas? Okay,
that might
maybe
have been,
I forgot.
yeah.
I mean, I think of Birdsong last year. I thought he was maybe our first or second best pitcher, and I'm a little upset that he's got to compete. You know, he should have after last year. He should be assured. So no, not.
I don't know
Otis-
why they
not
don't
Otis
use the
Birdsong.
6-man rotation.
Otis Birdsong, the basketball player.
Come on, yeah.
I remember Otis Birdsong out of Louisville, I think, if I remember right. Well, what's the next bold? It's you're up, Lou. You went first with the
Here's one because I'm going to get back to reality.
or Flores. You went with Flores. Okay.
I don't think Melvin's going to make the season. I think the Giants are going to have such a rough start that he will be fired or let go before the trade deadline.
Lou, we're trying to get him on our show here. We don't want.
I'm just telling you, it's going to, you know, I think with a rough start and, you know, it's not going to be
I don't
Buster's
see that.
fault. And, oh, yeah.
I don't see.
You
that
just
happening.
remember, I keep telling you guys I've been saying this for five months now. Once the schedule came out, we have a brutal start. It's going to be tough, and someone's going to have to get it. That's my bold prediction. And you know,
All right.
I'll wait
All right.
and I'll come back and I'll do players. But you know, I wanted to make sure since I gave Flores a nice thing, I wanted to bring up Melvin. I'm not a big fan of Melvin. I thought he was a safe pick, and you know, I don't like these. You know, oh yeah, we have such a great team. Oh, I'm so excited. No, come on, get back to reality. You know, so that's a Super Bowl prediction, I guess. Thank you.
All right. My next bold prediction is that Willie Adames will have a 30-30 season. 30 homers, 30 stolen bases.
How many
He had
he steal last year?
21. So he had a 30-20 season last year. I think this team's going to run this year. I just have a feeling Fitzgerald's going to have the green light. I think Chapman's going to have the green light. I don't know if Lee will have the green light because I don't know if he is just I just don't think he's a base stealer. He's never been a base stealer. Base stealing isn't just about speed. You have to be able to read the pitcher, There's a lot of things that go into base running, and it's not just speed. So I don't know if Lee Ramos maybe, Yaz maybe. This team isn't too slow. Flores and Wade those are your two slowest guys, and they're playing first base. I mean, the second base, shortstop, and third base, those are three pretty speedy guys. So I think this team's going to run, and I could see a 30-30 season out of Adames.
All right. Not bad. I like that. A little side note with a player. I think on the opening weekend in Cincinnati, 3-game set, I have Dave Fleming over under on the complaining about the balls and strikes at 5.
Over.
That's
a lock. That's an easy lock.
That's the bold prediction. We're setting it at 5 for the weekend series, and it'll be. You think it's over? Okay. All right. Bold prediction. First base. Ohtani was 50-50 last year. Lamont Wade 40-40 and becomes MVP of the season. 40-40 for Lamont Wade as the leadoff hitter. The guy's got his wheels back and he just bops it. His on-base percentage flirts with 500. He's the runaway MVP winner. And Lamont Wade goes into free agency and signs a 5-year, $400 million deal, $80 million a year next year. Lamont Wade. You heard it here first.
And I thought my prediction was nuts. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard Dan ever say ever. And I love the free agency thing. He has such a big year for the Giants, and then we don't re-sign him. I like that. All right.
That was AI Dan. Okay.
All right, Lou, you're up.
All right, I got a prediction. And one of you guys might like it. The other one's not. Giants are known for injuries, especially with the key players. Chapman goes down. Schmidt comes in and never leaves third base the rest of the season. Schmidt has a monster year, 25 bombs, 100 RBIs. Giants have a major problem on their hands, which is a good problem.
Oh, my goodness.
But that's my bold prediction because, we all know how Schmidt, he just needs an opportunity. And, with so much going on Chapman's shoulders, this is the San Francisco Giants. Something's going to happen. So that's another bold prediction.
That would be Schmidt, awesome.
So
I like it. If any one of these come true, I mean, I don't want to see Chapman get hurt. Okay. I'm not.
Of course not.
I'm not into that, but I would love to see Casey get a run and do something special. Yeah.
What would happen in that? Let's just say that happens, right? And let's say you go into 2026. Casey Schmidt off a great year, and Chapman comes back.
They probably force him to second, maybe, huh? Do you think?
Who, Schmidt?
Yeah.
What happens if Fitzgerald has a great year, though?
Be a good problem to have, but
that is a good problem to have.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to want.
Knowing the Giants, they'd trade Schmidt. They'd be like, let's go with Chapman. He's the franchise.
And I like what you're saying, Bora. I forgot to bring about Adames. 30-30. I definitely think that's definitely predictable. I just have a feeling about him. So
me I kind of have that feeling too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
So you guys are saying you're hooked on a feeling.
BJ Thomas.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Boris going who?
What? No, I listened to that song. I know what that song is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
I'm gonna say Logan Webb has a very bad year. Like
Ooh.
5-12, 4+ ERA. I don't know why. That's just a bold prediction, but I mean I could see it. You know, he hasn't had he's been kind of just above average the past couple years. He hasn't been that true ace, I would say. I mean, he's a great pitcher. He's consistent. He's reliable, but I could just see him having an off year, and I'm not saying I want that to happen, but I mean, Verlander's back, Ray's back. All these other guys could have great years, and Webb could kind of
Get lost in the
struggle
shuffle.
a little
like
bit.
it.
I don't know.
Bora,
I mean, there's no reason.
And Bora,
why
you
would
know, he
happen
just
the
became a
first
dad, right? He just
That
became
is
a dad.
true, yeah.
So his kid's
Mhm.
4 months old. You know, everything changes. So I just want to bring that up.
Wow. All right. Bold prediction. We haven't touched on catcher yet. How about? No, I don't see anything bold actually happening there. I think.
Hey,
it's just-
Dan, did you see Bailey? Because I saw an article the other day said he was like 30 pounds overweight. Is he okay physically?
No, he didn't look bad. He looked a
Okay,
little
he
lighter.
didn't look bad.
He
You know, the
he didn't look
exaggeration
bad.
factor.
No,
Okay.
no, he did not. I will say bold prediction that Elliot Ramos is the first Giant since Bonds to hit 30 homers. And I think he does not quite 30-30, but he goes 30-21. And he drives in 100 runs and hits 271. And he is in the top 10 in MVP votes.
Okay, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Builds off of last year and just I mean there's a scenario where the Giant like a bunch of the Giants have good years. I'm not gonna say anything about some other players because I have some other bold predictions for other players. But I mean Chapman, Adames, Ramos, these guys could all produce.
True. There is something to be said about being in camp early this year for Chapman. And kind of he's probably the de facto leader on the squad as far as the position players go. So
Who, Chapman?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, Lou.
Ryan Walker shows last year was not a fluke. He is the Giants' solo all-star when the game's in Atlanta, and he winds up getting the save for the National League.
Okay, I like that.
Who's up next, Bora?
All right, I'm gonna say Bryce Eldridge comes during the halfway through the season, right around the All-Star break. He comes up, he's their starting first baseman, and he wins Rookie of the Year on half a season. Just because he overpowers the league. He it's like 20 homers. He proves he's a stud, and he wins Rookie of the Year.
What, Roy Hobbs? What is he, Roy Hobbs?
What, you don't think that's a possibility at all?
Half a season, Rookie of the Year? No.
You think Lamont Wade having a 40-40 season is more possible than that?
That was satire. That was satire. My hope for Eldridge is one of two things. That the Giants, if they decide to bring him up, they bring him up in June because he's ready, and not bring him up after the All-Star break or after the trade deadline, and he loses his rookie status and the Giants go nowhere. If you're going to play him as a rookie, play him this year. If he's going to blow his rookie status this year, let's not blow it on, he's 5 over the limit of 130 at bats. He gets 135, or he's on the roster for 50 days instead of the allowed 45. Let's give him more than half the season, but we'll see. We'll see. Bold prediction. Jung-Hoo Lee flirts with 300, but doesn't end up there. But he plays really good defense, and he hits 291 on the season, and he collects 190 hits.
So what, like not 300 though, just close to 300?
Not 300, but
Like
300.
292 with 190 hits.
Yeah,
15
290,
steals.
right around the
190 hits is a lot.
190 hits is a lot. Yeah, 200.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he gets up. He doesn't make it to 200, but he becomes a the hitter they envision.
You said how many RBIs?
RBIs for Jung-Hoo, I'll say about 64.
Well, if Kyle just brought that up, Lee needs to hit third to drive guys around the bases. And I kind of agree with that. And I'm starting to see the vision where Bob Melvin's wanting to bat him third, just because he does have that bat control. So if you can get two guys on base ahead of him, you don't need the home run. You just need the base hit, the soft line drive to the other way to bring those guys in. So if he bats third and he has a productive year, I could see
if he bats third
would be 100 RBIs.
Yeah, if he bats third, I'll say he drives in 80 to 85. If he bats,
is that bold
off,
or is that realistic?
That's kind of realistic. Bold would be 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Bold would be 100. Yeah.
What's your realistic stat line for Lee?
Realistic stat line for Lee is 282, 175 hits, and drives in about 80 runs.
How many home runs does he hit?
About 11 to 12.
Wow. You want to know what my stats are realistic for him?
What?
260, 60 RBIs, 6 homers, maybe 16 stolen bases. You got to remember this guy's only played a month in the majors. So I think we're giving him a lot more credit. And I agree, Bora. 18 million for that? Yeah. Okay.
I'm with you, Lou. I'm seeing all these projections for Lee online where they have him with like 290. He's hitting 15 homers. He has an OPS,
and that wasn't even the stats
800.
last year.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, the KBO is equivalent to AA. And I mean, he was producing in the KBO, but I mean, the difference between AA and the major leagues is big. It's substantial. I see the possibility of that happening, but I'm not going to go out and say it's guaranteed that Lee's going to be one of your better hitters. I don't
hear that
think
with every Giant prospect, except
right?
Eldridge. Every prospect.
I don't know. I think 282's it's a little bit bold, but I think it's realistic. I do. I think he's probably going to hit about 40 to 45 points lower than what he hit in the KBO. So,
What was the Giants' best hitter last year? Do we have a 300 hitter?
no.
It was Ramos, wasn't it?
Ramos
yeah,
hit
292, right?
I mean, Fitzgerald hit like 280, but
Did Fitzgerald
You know.
qualify though?
for bats, I don't think so. So, yeah, Glenn has JHL hitting 326. Yeah, I don't see that. I would be shocked if he hit 300. My bold prediction is he hits 290. Yeah.
All right, I'll go another bold prediction. 3 Giants hit over 300.
What like 10 at bats each? 3 for 10?
Full season. It's a bold prediction. There's a reason it's a bold prediction.
That's not bold. That's insane.
Okay, Lee is 1. Ramos is 2. Fitzgerald is 3. That's bold.
300?
Yeah, it's a bold take.
That's not bold. That's insane.
Is it more insane than your Lamont Wade 40-40?
I was
Keep on
joking.
going to that. I'm going to keep on going to that.
I was joking.
I have all right. I have another bold prediction because I know we were talking. I think the Giants will have 3 batters hitting 30 homers or more. 3. We haven't even had 1 since Bonds left, but we're gonna have 3 this year.
All right, hold on.
Who are the hitters?
Adames.
Mm-hmm.
Ramos and Chapman.
Come on. I'm gonna go on Ramos, and then
Well, you already got Flores hitting 30.
yeah, and then we'll go Flores.
And who was the
But,
other one?
I mean 3. I'll go Flores. I'll stick with it. So we have 3. We had 1. Same team on the same year. That's bold. But here I have one other shocker. This year, because we're going to be down, we're going to pull a blockbuster. We're going to trade 3 starting pitchers.
Hey, check this out. 3-3. Senior, this was Lou's. Was this Lou's prediction?
Yeah,
Bold
Yeah,
prediction earlier? That was Lou's bold prediction earlier. Exactly. 25 homers.
Yeah. I didn't say anything about the Golden Glove.
I think he'd be there. Yeah.
he'd be in the mix. Yeah.
That would be that would be. I mean, like I said, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but that would be poetic justice for Casey Schmidt to come play flawless third base and produce more than Chapman, and he's like 6 years younger.
And the reason why I said the 3 pitchers, if the Giants are out of it with Buster in charge, they will try to get prospects. So I could see him trading Verlander,
Harrison,
and probably Duvall. Trying to get a prospect, something. Because, who knows, maybe second might not work out. They got to do something. They can't just keep sitting, especially when you got a chance at the trade deadline. You got to start getting prospects. We went 4 years where we missed out, where who knows, even if we get 2 prospects a year, one of them would probably be substantial and something better than what,
Well, let's go through that. You had Rodon in 22, right? Then in 23, you had Flores and Cobb that you missed out on. And last year you had Blake Snell. All of those would have gotten you a decent amount of prospects.
Yeah.
All right, my next bold prediction is the Giants have a top 5 bullpen, and Duvall goes back to his 23 self, the Giants, because you got to remember the Giants the past couple years have had a really good bullpen the first half of the season.
Is that
It's
bold
just-
though? Is that a bold take? I'm not sure that's
I
bold.
think that's a bold take, yeah, because they've ended the last couple seasons middle to bottom of the league.
They ran out
Now,
of gas.
Exactly. They just ran out of gas because they were doing all the bullpen games and all this stuff. Now they have an abundance of starting pitchers. I mean, either Birdsong or Harrison is going to start off in AAA, I think. One of those guys. So I think this bullpen is going to be pretty good and reliable.
I got a bold prediction. Yaz gets traded early on in the season to Boston. McRae and Matos combine for 25 homers. And they combine for 25 homers, and they steal a ton of bases, and the Giants' outfield defense is one of the best in the league with Ramos, Lee, McRae, Matos. Matos, McRae type platoon. What do you think?
You know what I think. I think the crowd laughing is what I think. I don't.
These are bold predictions.
There's no way McRae and Matos would combine for 25 homers.
Why? 12 each? 12, 13?
Matos can't hit. I don't think he can hit over 10.
I think he can if he plays and sees at bats.
I just don't think he has the power for it.
He probably wouldn't get the at bats though, because it's if he's facing we don't see too many lefties. So
if it's a platoon with McRae, yeah.
Yeah.
Lou, what do you think?
Well, really depending on the one thing about all this is we're really depending on the youth, to stay healthy, another year under the belt. It's a lot to ask. That's almost like when you really look at our whole team, all our youth, most of these guys don't even have more than a year and a half experience, and it's tough because you're going from a part-time or a platoon to basically starting. It's, it's a different ballgame, so. But
here's another bold prediction. Patrick Bailey hits 275 or 280, I'll say. Or you know what? I'll make it even bolder, 300.
What? Wait a minute. What did you just say? I didn't.
Bailey hits over 300.
For what, a week?
The whole season, man. The whole season.
Well, wrong one. I'll tell you, if that happens, what do you want if that happens? You want all the revenue from NCSN for a month?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
He's a Golden Glove. He's a Golden Glove catcher.
I'll give you the revenue for next February.
All right. Okay.
That's the lowest month.
It's the worst month. What do you realistically though? What do you see? What do you think Patrick Bailey is gonna do? Because what did he end up this past year at?
I'll look it up right here.
Did he stop switch hitting? And is he only going to hit from the left side?
Not that I know of. I don't think he
Okay.
stopped. Patrick Bailey last year hit 234. And he's hit 234 each of the first 2 years. He's like a 234 hitter. So
yeah,
I'll have a bold prediction. He hits 235.
Do you want to make a bet on this? I bet that he hits over 250. Do you want to bet on that?
That's a good bet because I think that's possibility. I mean, that's right there. I can see Bailey. I could see Bailey increasing his average to 250, especially if he gets off to a good start and he's hitting, 270, 280, and then they rest him a little bit. They don't,
because you got to remember the second half of his season was arguably one of the worst second halves I've seen.
right.
I mean, I don't know what it was, like August or September. I mean, he just could not hit anything. And I don't know if he was just tired or something was going on, but it was just strike out, ground out to the second, strike out, ground out to second, weak fly ball. That was it. I mean, he started off great. He started off great the past couple of years.
He looked tired. He looked out of shape, tired.
Yeah. So if they can just get him on the 2-1 split consistently, and I mean, he does look a little skinnier, which is good, I think.
I thought he was heavier, they said.
No, I think he looked a little better.
No, yeah, I think he looked a little skinnier. I mean, he was heavy last year, I think.
Yeah. He looked like a little like Porky Boy last year.
So I think he's gained some muscle. His endurance is gonna increase every year he's in the league. So I could see him having a better season and stacking it.
You got any bold predictions on Gerard Encarnacion? Does he stick with the team? He's out of options. Does he make it? Because Flores and him, can you afford to carry both of those guys plus Wade? I mean,
pretty weak bench.
Well, who's your starting DH right now?
Don't know. I mean,
Giants don't believe in one.
Could be, could be Flores. I think it's probably Flores most likely. Wade playing first base. Luciano, what's the role for him? I think they're going to probably put Luciano down in the minors. I would not be shocked to see one of these 5 players traded before the Giants opening day. Yaz, Luciano, Matos, McRae, Schmidt. I think one of those 5 guys gets dealt before opening day.
Are you putting a guarantee on that?
No, that's a bold prediction.
Right. Yeah, Yaz isn't going anywhere. He's stuck with us. We're stuck with him. So maybe one
that
of the
$9.5 million salary, that's for sure. No one wants that.
Yeah.
Bold prediction. I think things happen along major league camps. There's guys like Giancarlo Stanton, who's out right now, can't even swing a bat. Teams might be looking for an experienced veteran. I don't think that Yaz fits the Yankees because Giancarlo is a right-hander, but maybe Encarnacion might fit the Yankees for Stanton to take his place for a period of time.
Do you think the Yankees would go from Giancarlo Stanton to Gerard Encarnacion? Where's the crowd laughing?
What are they could go sign JD Martinez. He's a free agent.
That's an option.
I don't know. I'm just saying injuries are going to start popping up, and I there's going to be injuries in the Giants camp that happen too. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I got a feeling that Schmidt's going to get to play this year somewhere, whether it's on the Giants, there's an opening comes up, second base, third base, or gets dealt. I think they'd be crazy to deal him just simply because he is a great backup guy to have if you do lose, somebody on your infield. But
Lou, how old? I know the answer to this. How old is Tyler Fitzgerald?
Isn't he like 30?
No.
29? I thought he's a lot older than I first thought he was. 26?
He's 27.
27.
I mean, his rookie year was last year, so I don't know if they're gonna look. They're not gonna look at trading Tyler Fitzgerald, but he's a guy that I would consider if he. I mean, he's good. He's athletic, but he's also older. I mean, he was just a rookie last year, and he's 27. I don't know how long. I mean, he's in his prime right now, but how long is that going to last? Because I mean, he's not Matos. He's not Luciano. He's not 23. He's 27, and last year was his rookie year. So you're not going to get a lot. I mean, you're gonna get some stuff out of Fitzgerald, but it's not going to be for 10 years. It's going to be for 5 years, probably.
Okay. I'm running out of bold takes. Bold take. Giants shock baseball. Win 89 games. Get into a wild card position. Win the wild card round. Go up in the division series against the Dodgers and knock them off. Bold, insane, whatever you want to call it. It's not likely to happen, but it's a bold take.
Boy, not only the playoffs, they win and knock out the Dodgers. I don't know what you're smoking. Pass it around. Let's go.
It would be the ultimate payback by the baseball gods. Actually, it would be pretty bad because then the Giants ownership would get rewarded for not spending. But I just think it would be fun. I think it would be funny. I mean, 5-game series.
Colorado Rockies overtake the Giants. The Giants finish in 5th place.
Yeah, that's bold, but
that could be realistic too.
There's a realistic scenario. Yeah.
Especially when we start off bad.
I think there is a realistic scenario where the Giants, as I said the other night, I see the Giants, there's a realistic scenario where they lose, 90 games. And there's a realistic scenario where they win 90 games. And I think what happens is they're somewhere in the middle and they finish right around 500.
You really think there's a realistic chance that they win 90 games?
Maybe realistic's the wrong word. There's a slight possibility. How's that?
They'd go 90 and 72, 18 games over. Look at our. I don't see it on our schedule. I mean, we would have.
No, I don't think it's bold. I don't think it's realistic. You're right. That's a strong word. That means that's kind of an better than.
I mean, that means everybody
average.
has career years.
I say it's a distinct possibility, but I see them more in line with 78 to 82
75,
wins.
77.
Right in that late upper 70s, low 80s, just mid. That's where I fully expect them to be this year.
Who do you think finishes above them in the whole National League? Obviously the Dodgers,
Diamondbacks, the three teams in the National League East, the Phillies, Braves, and Mets. That's 5.
Uh-huh.
I think the Padres will most likely, that's going to be close. That's 6. Mm-hmm. I think the Cubs, 7, Cincinnati, 8. I'm going to go and say, look at my
Pittsburgh's
close.
I mean, even though Milwaukee got rid of everyone, they were always there. Washington.
Yeah, Milwaukee. I could see. I realistically, let's see. I've got them 4th there. I've got
4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think they finished 10th or 11th.
That's
out of
disaster.
15. I think it's
I could
11.
see, and I could see that happens, and then Lou, your prediction comes true, and Melvin gets the can.
Because I think there's a lot more pressure than we're thinking with Melvin. Because you remember last year they weren't even sure if him and Farhan even had a contract. Remember there was all that confusion.
Yeah, he doesn't. This is his last year.
Yeah,
on his contract.
Yeah,
and I think finally the fans are going to get so frustrated, especially if the dot. Say we're barely competing 4th and 5th, and we're like 20 games below. Something has to be done. Because the ballpark's going to be empty. You got the big WNBA down the street. They're going to be upset because they're going to have a losing team. The Niners are going to miss out. I mean, the whole city's going to start just turning on everybody, and hopefully the Giants,
one thing that we should really consider is looking at the schedule and kind of getting a feel for that. Let's just take a quick little peek at the schedule here. Let me see if I can get the 25.
I remember last year we were excited after the trade deadline because we opened up with 4 against Colorado and we went 1-3 and went downhill from there.
So here we go. You got Cincinnati. You'll open up with 6 on the road. Normally I would say you got a pretty good shot against Cincinnati, but there's a lot of high expectations with Terry Francona taking over. So I think they start this road trip 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they come home and they have Seattle and Cincy, and I think they split that. And I think after those 12 games, they are 5-7. And then I think they go on this road trip. And I think they lose at least 2 or 3 in New York. They lose 3 or 4 in Philly. And I think they lose 2 or 3 in LA or whatever, Anaheim, wherever the heck it is. So I think, what is that? 3, 7, 10. I think they go 3-7 on that trip. And now they're sitting at 8 and what? 14? Yeah. 8-14. And that's tough. That's tough. You got to come back home and you got to, I think Milwaukee, Texas, that's a 7. I can see them winning 4 out of 7 on that. 8 so they're 8-14, and then they go 12-17, and then they split in San Diego the first 2, 12-17, 13-18 to finish the month of April.
And then that's another brutal road trip in May.
13-18. And if that's the case, then you go. Well, then you come home and you got Colorado for 4. They should get healthy there. They should win 3, 4 at least. That's 13. That's 16-19. So now you go back on the road. I mean, I think they're chasing, because of the way the schedule is, I think they're chasing the 500 thing again all year.
The whole way.
That's kind of tough. I mean, if they really want to get ahead of it, I mean, instead of 13-18, that's 31 games. If somehow they could be 16-15 after 31 games, now you're kind of cooking, right? I mean, you're in a much better position than 13-18.
As Boris said, they got to try to stay within 4 or 5 games of 500 because it could get ugly. But if they can survive, because the one thing about this year is there's some real long and tough, areas that they got to go.
I mean, even June, they're home a lot. Look at how much they're home in June, but they got a tough.
Yeah, but look who they play.
San Diego, Atlanta, Cleveland, Boston. I mean, Miami's is a gimme, but I mean, right there at the end of June is a chance to win 5 of 6. They got Miami and the White Sox, right? That's a chance to get healthy.
Those are games they got to sweep. You got to sweep.
You got to win at least 5. Sweep one of those.
Yeah, every loss is like 2. Because look at the other thing. The brutal road trip we're not even talking about is the second week of June. It's always tough when we go to Colorado, and then we have the Dodgers. And before that, we play Atlanta. Remember, forget Atlanta's got their MVP back, and they got their stud pitcher back. Even though they lost the stud, they got another guy back. So I mean, that June.
He's probably
coming tough.
He's probably coming back right around the 1st of June. I guess.
And then I mean, July before the All-Star break and after that is pretty tough. You go to Philly. You're home for 3 for Philly and then 3 for the Dodgers. Then you got the All-Star break. Then you go to Toronto and Atlanta. Then you come home for the Mets. Are going to be good, and then Pittsburgh. And then you go home for the Mets. It's tough. The Mets are probably second or third best team. In the National League. So that's why I kept saying this year's schedule doesn't do him any favors.
Do you guys understand what he's saying here, Mike? By the end of spring, I want to know what you guys feel about us getting the extra home or road game. Do you understand what that means there?
I don't
Mike,
understand
I'm not sure how to answer that question. I'm not sure. By the end of spring training,
is he talking about how because we play like 19 games. Some games like the Dodgers will play 10 on the road and then only 9 at home, because they switch every year because of the unbalanced schedule.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what he means. Mike, if that's what you mean, just say no.
I don't. Yeah.
Did you guys see that the video of the Ramos homer off Verlander
in spring
today?
In batting practice?
Yeah, today.
No, I didn't. What?
Oh, he hit like 3/4 of the way up.
I heard it hit the scoreboard or something.
3/4 up on the scoreboard.
Nice.
What was it on?
Somebody's
Twitter?
ready.
It was on Twitter. I saw it.
On what, KMBR or what? Who?
No, I think it was like some Spanish. It might have been the Giants Spanish.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So he launched it, huh? Nice.
Oh, maybe this is it right here.
It's like the view.
I got it right here. This is off the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, it did hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It hit the top of the scoreboard.
Look at it hit the board on the left.
3/4 up.
Upper left.
Below the S.
Oh my goodness.
How far is it to left center there? What, like
I looked it up.
370?
I think to the scoreboard, just to the scoreboard, I think it's 440.
Yeah, so 375.
That's going another 30 feet past that.
Yeah, I mean that might have been 470, 480.
That's hitting that white building behind it if the scoreboard's not there.
That's got the baseball glove at the ballpark. That's 440. The big mitt.
Dang. He hit just. Look at the shortstop looking at that. Is that Adames? I think it might be.
Yeah.
Dang. I love the crack of the bat. I think I might try and get out there tomorrow.
Do it.
You're fired up, Dan, for that.
I think I need to get out there tomorrow, guys. I was actually going to try and get over to Glendale, too. It's closer to me. Get some Dodgers video and see if I can do that. I might do that Friday because I need to get in before the games start. Because once the games start on Saturday, there's no longer
It's a zoo. Yeah.
It's just crazy. Yeah. So this is the best. To me, this is one of the funnest weeks of spring training because you get a chance to get in there. And, speaking of Bo Mel, I got a signed ball right here from Bob Melvin on Monday. There it
What do
is.
you say? I'm trying? Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, thanks.
No, I like Bob. Bob's a good guy.
All right, so I'll watch myself since I got to be a gentleman in front of Bora with Chapman. And since you're now in love with Melvin, I will make sure I don't say anything negative about him. until he's fired.
He said he'd come on the show, Lou.
Let's see. Yeah, I've seen him on every other show except ours. I don't like that.
Well, I had to ask, and the Giants said he's busy.
He should have assumed he should know who we are by now. It's not like we just
busy.
started.
He's busy for the next 2 weeks, and Senior, I got that on Twitter under the SF Giants. SF Giants. Which one did I get that off of? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, just the SF Giants. SF Giants.
And Mr.
We can watch.
Hey Bert. Hey Bert.
Too.
We have nothing else to get excited about. We got to get excited about spring training homers. Is that okay, Mr. Reynolds? Thanks. Bye.
Turn the music off. I'm not sure if that's.
Now we're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah. Where's Katie?
There you go. And then you got Ramos there. Woohoo! Let's see what else is on the page. There's Jung-Hoo Lee. See what he has to say. Where's my volume?
Hi.
He's kind of a character. He's not a small guy.
He's like 6'2", I think.
Bank.
Yeah, and he's got some muscle he built. He looks a little.
Hi.
So you got Jung-Hoo Lee. What else you got here? Webb. What else they got on here? They ought to really hey, happy birthday to Sean Estes. They ought to let us
Try to get him back on before the season starts. That was a good one you had.
Sean Estes, yeah. You know who's that was Eldridge there, yeah.
Did you hear that Wade is apparently has a new batting stance that he's using?
Yeah, I read that.
I don't know what that's supposedly going to translate to. Is that going to help him not get injured? Not. Is that going to prevent him from pulling his hamstring?
Yeah. For Aaron says what is Aaron asking? What's Aaron asking here?
Forget JV. Where's his better half?
Oh,
Justin Verlander. Where's Kate?
Asking you shall receive.
Is Katie that? Yeah, there's
there
Katie. You're live. Should I maybe ask if when he pitches, if I got a couple extra seats in my row, if she'd like sit with me? You know, we're so close to the dugout too, so she can meet afterwards. So maybe that's a bold prediction, huh?
That's very bold.
Yeah, she could sit right next to the dugout seat. There you go. Mm-hmm. Lou could keep her warm over there.
I wouldn't have to watch the Giants. I'd just stare at her the whole time. Hey, Anthony brings up a good thing. What do you guys think about Hicks this year? Can he survive a whole season starting?
No.
Bold prediction on what do you got on him, Bora?
No, I don't think he can survive a whole season.
I think he's going to get injured again.
That's the bold prediction. I hope not. But
to go to the pen.
Yeah, I don't like him in the starting rotation. I don't understand why you would put Birdsong and Hicks or Birdsong and Harrison pit them against one another for the final spot and not say there's two spots open and put three guys and Harrison's fighting for or Hicks is fighting for a rotation spot. I mean, personally, I don't like what the Giants are doing with Hicks in the situation that, look, you can have a lockdown back into the bullpen. And if you got too many guys, there's some trade candidates there. I don't care if he says he wants to start. You gave him a starting shot last year. He hurt his arm. He wasn't there available to pitch in the second half. So as far as I'm concerned, you gave him a shot. He doesn't get another shot because it's not like he's a proven starter. Why are we messing around and catering to these guys because, they signed here and they said they signed here. The only reason we signed here is because I was promised a starter. Well, that was under the old regime. They're gone.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're gone. And he didn't know what he's doing. And that's why he's cleaning, toilets down for the owner, Mark Walter, in LA. He's Farhan scrubbing toilets down in Los Angeles. He's Mark Walter's right-hand guy.
It's the best he can get.
Yeah, they gave him what, 44 million. I would be happy with 44 million, like pitching on the bullpen. I mean, what's the difference really? You want to be a starter? Well, too bad. You blew it last year. You got injured. Now you're relegated to the bullpen.
Yeah, you didn't come in shape to start.
Exactly.
So let's not cater to, why are we catering to the Hickses and the Yazes on this team?
They're not proven winners. They don't deserve it.
No, I don't understand this. This whole thing with Hicks is, to me, it's and Yaz. I mean, I don't know, but let's get out of here, guys.
One more thing. I said it earlier briefly, but why not just use a 6-man rotation? I mean, the Dodgers are using it, and it would put less stress on Verlander, on Ray. I mean, it would put less stress on everybody, but I mean, especially Verlander, who's what, 43, 42?
I think 57.
How old is he?
57.
42. It would put less stress on Birdsong and Harrison because they're young. I mean, it would put less stress on everybody.
Agree.
Hey, Bora, tell everybody about Better and tell them how to download it. My throat's killing me.
Yeah, top right-hand corner, you can download the app Better. You get, it's like you bet on individual players, right? Lou, I know you use it. Dan, you use it too.
Yeah,
correct.
It's pretty good. It's like Prize Picks or Underdog. Use code NCSN or click the link in the description. You get first time $250 match. So if you deposit $250 into the app, you get a free $250. If you deposit $100, you get $100. If you deposit $20, you get $20. I think minimum's $10, right, Dan?
Yeah, $10, guys. Go download the app, man. Do it, man. Better. Download it on your iOS phone or your Android. Put in the promo code NCSN or click on the link, as Boris said, right in the description. Takes you right to our promo. And $250. That's. I mean, think about it, guys. You say you put in $100 and you blow it, and you lost it. You still got another 100. They're giving you. How do you beat that?
It's in a win insurance. And also, guys, in 29 days exactly is the first round of the NCAAs. Perfect time to get in. Bet small, win big.
Oh, yeah. The NCAA is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, guys, just to let you know, we're working on a couple of events for NorCal Sports Network. We may even combine it with other giant content creator shows, but we're going to see if we can put together a road trip, whether that be the ideal trip would be to go to the Kentucky Derby on a Saturday and then Monday go to the Chicago Cubs Giants game. That would be fun but I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that one off. So the Chicago in early May is nice because you don't get the horrible humidity that you do in June, July. So really nice time to go to Chicago, early May. There's another trip that would be fun because it's close. It's Colorado, and it's in June. So we're looking at that. We also may be looking at, obviously, a local game in San Francisco. One other option would be Petco Park in San Diego. Would have loved to have gone see the Yankees, but the Yankees that would be a good one. They're back in New York, right? Yes, but that's early. That's early on. That's not great weather. Not great weather in April. You don't want to go back to New York. Trust me, I lived in Connecticut, and you could get 48 degrees and dreary and drizzle, and it's not fun. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching NorCal Sports Network. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:45, and then Friday night we've got Warriors Kings. So all you light the beamers up there in Sacramento, make sure you join in on the post-game show, and that will be not the Light the Beam show, but the Pry the Beam show for you Kings fans, as the Warriors stomp into Sacramento and snuff the little Sacramento stepsister Kings basketball team out. So make sure you're here Friday night for that. That'll be fun. And catch us tomorrow night. And again, thank you for watching. We appreciate all you do. And where's my music? I'm trying to find it. Where did he go? Where did he go? Why did it go away? There it is. All right, here we go. We'll see you guys. We'll put up your comments as we close the song Behind the Screen. Let's give a NorCal salute.